Good evening, everybody. I'm gonna be doing sort of a stream-esque. Well, basically, I'm gonna be looking at doing some research on the Mountain View Grand Resort and Spa. I'm gonna do a video. I'm staying up there this weekend for a wedding, but we're also kind of making a little bit of a vacation out of it. And so I'm going to have some time to film a classic, history video on it. So I'm going to do pre-research. We'll just start by taking a look at their website here. Steeped in history, resorted in luxury. Look, these are the shots right here, and these are the shots that I'm going to be getting. Probably, I don't know who does these videos. It's always so interesting to me. With that shot implied they're rubbing that candle wax on her face. I hear good things about the dining there. They have a really fancy restaurant. I understand it's expensive, but worth it. We'll see. I've looked into this hotel before, and their history isn't really that amazing. Not really that interesting. As you can see, like even here, like, oh, first lodgers, and then it's all about like, just the business side of it. This if you don't know, this hotel's up in Whitefield, and it's really beautiful, classic kind of grand resort style from New Hampshire. So I think what this video probably will end up becoming is more of a video on the industry itself and the history of the tourism industry. But let's take a history lesson, shall we? Go see what they have listed. I already looked. A lot of times what I'll do, this is a great example of how slow my internet is right now. A lot of times I look at the resort or the establishment's page, and then I'll also look at a Wikipedia page if it's a big enough thing, but their Wikipedia page is pretty minimal. Many great stories come from humble beginnings, and our story of Mountain View Grand Resort and Spa is no different. The doors of what we would become a world-famous hotel were opened to two weary travelers taken in for a night. Yeah, this is the part that I did know. They were on their way from Boston to Montreal, and their stagecoach was overturned. The driver directed them to a nearby farmhouse in a small township of Whitefield, New Hampshire. Despite the late hour, the owners of the farmhouse, William and Mary Jane Dodge, welcomed the travelers graciously and took them in. Though the travelers originally planned on staying a single night's stay, their desire to reach Boston quickly waned. Wait, weren't they going to Montreal from Boston? Oh, okay. I guess if their stagecoach crashed, they would want to go back. Upon waking, they took up the breathtaking views, yada, yada, yada. Read our detailed history. Yes, that's what I want. Our detail. I mean the details. Word spread quickly. Let's see. During that extended stay, the Dodges became convinced that other tourists would enjoy their hospitality as well. And in the summer of 1866, they officially opened. So that's 1 year after, right? Yeah, because it was the night of 1865. So the next year, they officially opened the Mountain View House, complete with newly built 2-story additional and full veranda. Word spread quickly. Magnificent views, gracious hospitality. With each addition to the building, the Dodges would take out a new mortgage, and each time it was paid off, the family would celebrate with a ceremonial mortgage burning. I've been to one of those myself, actually, for my grandparents. I was really young. I don't know. Do people still do that? In the early years of the resort, life was simple. Light was supplied from oil lamps, and baths were taken in tubs brought into the room for guests upon request. Heat was from fireplaces or wood-burning stoves, why everything caught on fire, and the food came fresh from the Dodge family farm. Mary Jane Dodge ran the kitchen and became known for her excellent meals. So, interesting. That's kind of maybe that's why they keep up the restaurant. That could also just be a nice little marketing embellishment to help sell the restaurant. Who knows? This uncomplicated life away from the crowded city was a welcome respite for most urban dwellers of the time. The poverty, crime, and disease that were rampant and large in cities, especially during the summer months, drove families to means of the country where life was simpler, calmer, and cleaner. Yeah, back in the day, a lot of people had... cities were awful, especially in the summer, because there was, no air conditioning. And there was a lot of pollution. But people would have a lot of respiratory issues, just like your common kind of sicknesses. And doctors literally would prescribe fresh mountain air. And so more rich people would come up and do these long extended stays with their family, like 2 weeks to 2 months up in the White Mountains. And so a lot of the grand resorts that you see around New Hampshire, all of the early marketing for them was very much like, come here and recover and get better. And, it was almost like a vacation meets medical, because that's kind of what the thinking of the time was, is that the clear, fresh mountain air away from the city would make your children or you or whoever was sick better. Of course, that wasn't something that poor people could always afford. But yeah, actually in Vermont, one of the first, most northern popular, the Grand Hill Resort was a huge, very, very popular New Hampshire destination, because it was about the first highest peak north of Boston was up in Mount Vernon. Former U.S. presidents have enjoyed the beauty and hospitality. Theodore Roosevelt, Grover Cleveland, Warren G. Harding, Calvin Coolidge, and whatever Eisenhower, Nixon writers often were guests. Ralph Waldo Emerson, Stephen King, no surprise. Betty Gable, Betty Davis. The Marx Brothers stayed at the Mountain View House. Norman Rockwell, John D. Rockefeller, that's a name I love to see. Neil Armstrong, 1922, the West was built. I don't really care so much about the remodeling. The Crystal Ballroom was the only hotel's restaurant for many years. The bar was located on the first floor. The tavern was fine dining. Restaurants located originally, they were one large room with a dance floor. As the years went by, the family business was passed down to later generations. When did that stop, I wonder? Automobiles among the affluent. Yeah, well, that was the other thing. So one of the changes was the popularity of chauffeur-driven automobiles. The Dodges built a covered entrance where limousines could drive through, drop their guests off, and pull through to park. A summer stay at Mountain View House meant a leisurely country lifestyle, so the guests could enjoy regular bridge games in the parlor and under the shade of the maple trees in front of the hotel. By 1900, a 9-hole golf course had been installed, designed by that his name was Harvard Math, by Harvard math professor Ralph Barton. The Dodge property was still a working farm at this time. 1848, Dodge died suddenly. June, Sons Frank. I don't really care about any of this stuff all that much. Transportation became faster. Many husbands would stay in the city during the week and take a train to Whitefield and stay with their families in the summer weekends. Mountain View House became known for its Friday night dinner dances held to greet the returning husbands. Oh, that's kind of a fun little note there. He left the family business, yada, yada, yada. 1965, guests who had returned every year upon whom Dodges had built their business were aging. The hotel was becoming known for its elderly clientele. In 1979, the Dodges elected to sell the hotel to a group named Mountain View Associates. Oh no, the villains. Headed by Robert and Ann Dilts. Dilts, that's an odd name. This was a time when many of the region's grand hotels closed or burned to the ground. Yeah, well, yeah, kind of happened before that too. But there was a lot of these grand resorts that burned down during the Great Depression. You know, suspiciously. Mountain View Associates soon sold the resort. In 1986, the resort had closed its doors. No, several attempts were made to reopen it. 1987, American Savings Bank, Buffalo, New York, purchased the Grand Mountain View House. I'm adding in words that don't exist. The entire hotel's grounds, blah, blah, blah. And 1998, remained dormant for the next several years. In December of 1998, Kevin Raffy, a contractor from Massachusetts with a vision, wanted recreating the splendor of the golden days, purchased the Mountain View House in 1999, reopened its doors. In May 2002, after the completion of a $20 million restoration, the Mountain View House proudly reopened as the Mountain View Grand Resort and Spa. Okay, that's an interesting detail, that it was closed for 10 years, right? 1989 to 2002. What is that, 11 years? Math amount of years. In June of 2005, Mountain View Grand Resort was purchased by its current owner, American Financial. Yeah, it's a much less valuable name. Much less, whatever. More corporate. To set out to further enhance the property. From 2005 to 2007, new additions to the resort have included health and wellness studio. I don't care. Cool. All right. So, let's see what we have going on. The tower. Beautiful, beautiful. The Grand Tower Experience. Yeah, I want to see this. Oh my God, $420 per couple. $522 per couple for 2 hours? Are you out of your mind? That's just way too rich for my blood. Way too much. It's like the vacation itself. Farm. We are a still working farm with a focus today on raising fiber producing animals. A unique Mountain View Farm blend yarn is created from the wool of these sheep. The farm is open to guests from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Good to know. Now, is there pool? Oh, indoor and outdoor pool. Let's freaking go. In the warmer months, you'll love the outdoor pool, which is conveniently located next to the seasonal clubhouse restaurant. In the cooler months, our indoor pool and sauna offer the perfect spot to warm up after a long day of wintertime play. Are they both open year-round, though? Or is the indoor pool open year-round is the question. All right, I want to see about this cave dining experience that I've heard about here. No, I guess it's just a wine cellar dining. This is really kind of a bad website, to be totally real with you. They have a movie theater. When the weather gets rough, our guests are set to go into the movies. With over 500 movies to choose from, you can relax and enjoy the show. Why is that screen so teeny weeny? You have these really nice seats, and then you just have like a 55-inch Vizio TV in there. Looks like golf is a big thing here. Tower Spa Boutique, so you can shop. Provisions. Your stay would not be complete without a visit to the Mountain View Provisions, our newly expanded gift shop, open daily. All right. Let's look it up on the old maps here. A Grand View. Mountain View Grand. It's like backwards. That's why I have such a hard time remembering it. Use some of these photos. Take a peek around here. Reconnaissance. Beautiful bathrooms. Can't wait to fly my drone next to that wind kicked out. That's gonna be freaking awesome. I don't know what that is, but that looks delicious. I mean, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I want to see some pictures of it when it was abandoned, though, that's for sure. That must be the tower. The tower room. Paid $5 million. Mount Washington. You could film such a good spooky horror movie in these kind of places. Alright. Pretty dope. Pretty dope. Nice. Axe throwing. Okay. It's showing me the rich people. I don't show it to me if I can't afford it. This is like, oh, they got a sick gym. I'm gonna be throwing heat. I'm gonna go in there and toss some freaking iron around, if you know what I mean. Wine cellar dining. I don't know about this like underground cave dining experience that someone was telling me about. I think they meant cellar. I'm guessing that's really what they meant. This will be cool. I have more to say about the industry than I have to say about this hotel. I think it represents something that I wanted to stay at. I've always wanted to stay at the Omni because the Mount Washington Resort has a very fantastic and unique history. But this one's fine too. This is a good one. We get the idea. We get the idea of staying here. I wonder how many rooms it has. Got a lot of amenities for a place that's so small. I'm gonna guess they probably have like 300 rooms or something. Well, I know I'm excited. I will be doing, you won't see the video for this, the produced video, for probably, till mid next week. But you'll definitely see some daily vlogs probably you will, from the hotel. I'll probably film a little bit of the actual process of doing the video. But it feels good. It feels good to have a good North New Hampshire topic to do again. One that I'm excited about. So I'm going to write the script for this probably tomorrow. And then memorize my lines before I actually get there, so I don't have to waste any time doing anything other than just filming. Because I'm definitely going to do a narration, but there will also be some on-camera talkie points, and I like to have my stuff memorized so I can perform it. You know what? If it makes it easier, sort of. Sometimes it makes it harder, but